Hello, hello to anyone. At the moment, we've got one person. Someone was quick. Let me see if I make sure that I can see all messages. There you go. This should do the trick. I'm gonna just. Hi, Yaya Somahoro. Sounds kind of Japanese. Hello, welcome everybody. There you go, 28 people. Welcome everyone. Hello, Crocodile Keys Productions. It's an interesting name. Man of Culture. Hey to you. How was America? Asks Jill. Well, I'm still in America, so I should say America is good. America's fun. I'm having a lot of fun here. Sup, Italian bro, Corporal Shepherd. Not much, just decided to go live a little bit and talk to 108 people. That was quick. That was a quick gathering. Hello everybody, welcome to this Metatron special Q&A. Ask me anything, and if I know the answer, I'll answer that. Okay, again, a lot of person is asking how was America. Well, I'm still in America, and I'm enjoying America very much. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great country. I really like it. So, how big? Never mind, I'm going to pretend I didn't read that one. So, we've got someone writing in Chinese, and they write Ni hao. So, let me answer back Ni hao. That's hello in Chinese. Okay, well, already lots of things. What's your favorite Chinese weapon is the question from Mr. Pinkman. So, dear Mr. Pinkman, what's my favorite Chinese weapon? I'm going to say the Chinese spears. I like Chinese spears. I like spears anyways. And then, of course, Dao in general, like Chinese swords. I think they're very nice. Why do I move so much? Like, I move my hand a lot. Guys, since you know I'm Italian and we speak with our hands, that can be rather dangerous when I'm holding the device that I'm using to, to stream. So let me know if I move it too much, because that's just how it is. Kat says, hi, you're great. Well, thank you, so are you. Anyways, hello from Cambodia. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, Little Daniel, we've got a question. Hey, Metatron, any more Twitch game streams? That's a very good question. Maybe not all of you know that I've got a Twitch account, and it's called Metatron Gemini, or Gemini, if you want to read it in classical Latin, and as a reference to my favorite zodiac sign, which is Gemini, or Gemini, for those who like saying that, and pronounce it that way. And so, yes, I did go live a few times, playing a little bit of Dark Souls, and then I also did a little charity Twitch. I think I played 8 hours in a row of Kingdom Come Deliverance, which was a lot of fun, and my friend Salvo from You Better Call Saul channel was also present, and there is also pizza. I have some pasta during that, and it was fun. Oh, by the way, am I gonna do Twitch? Yes, I am. I'm planning. Perhaps I need some time to organize it, because it's already a handful to take care of a YouTube channel. So adding Twitch requires more time, but it's not a problem. I think it's just a matter of organization. So Brenton Verlo just donated $2. Thank you very much, my friend. And he says, hello, what's your favorite piece of medieval tech? Whoa. I'm going to say the crossbow, my friend. Unless we include armor. If we include armor, which I suppose we should, then no, the breastplate is my favorite piece. But if we consider weapons, then I'm going to say the crossbow. Anyways, to anyone who is using Super Chat, thank you very much for your donations. And, if you see that you have donated and I'm a little slow at reading your messages, because, I'm still a little bit new with this streaming things. So, but don't worry, I will see it eventually. So there is that. Okay, so let's start reading some of these questions. I hope I don't miss any. So, would you consider making a Deadliest Warrior type video, but with accurate info and weapons testing? Actually, yes, that's a very interesting one, and I gotta say, I did make some. So if you write Metatron Deadliest Warrior, you will find already some videos made a while ago. So perhaps a little cringy, but hey, what can I say? So yeah, I might go back to it. I'll have to see how they were doing in terms of views. So here's another question from Puspa Sahu. No idea how to pronounce it. Was Katana effective in battles? Well, that's I think it's something that most people who watch my channel in general, channels such as Scholar Gladiatoria, Scalagrim, Shadiversity, and whatnot, etc., already know. But Katana, it's not that it's a bad weapon. Katanas are good swords, but they are not exceptionally good swords. they do their job, I suppose, but they were never main battlefield weapons, and I think that history already answers your question. So, can a katana do well in on a battlefield? It can, but there are so many better options that if you have a spear like a yari, if you have a naginata, if you have a yumi, so a bow, then definitely stick to those. If you lose all your weapons and your choice is either using a katana or go for hand-to-hand combat, I'm gonna say go for the katana. So there, the katana is good as a backup weapon. That's what it is, and that's what it's designed for. I hope that answers your question. Zay X Nova asks me, you like Soul Calibur Metatron? Yes, I do. I've been playing Soul Calibur since it was called Soul Edge. So I played Soul Edge on PlayStation 1. I played Soul Blade as well, which was a European version. Don't know why they had to change the name for Europe, but anyways. And I've been playing it ever since. I love the editor. And there are some other donations, I believe. So let me just see that very quickly, if I can, because I'm a little. Thank you again to everyone who gives donations and uses super chat. It's really really appreciated, particularly in this moment in time when for some reasons Patreon is going down a lot. So anything helps. Anything helps. Okay, let me see if I have. Yeah, I've done this. So again, big thanks to anyone who's doing donations. Again, thank you so much, guys. Oh, in fact, we have $2 from Cult of Malgus. Thank you so much, my friend. And he says, can you do a video on the Alpini regiments of World War II? Well, interestingly enough, I think it might be interesting for you to know that my father was in the Alpini section when he was in the military. So there's that. That's something cool to know. Will I make a video about it? Maybe. As you know, I don't really do much modern warfare, but who knows? You know, it's a possibility. I did make once a video on World War II in Italian. It's probably the only video in Italian made, so who knows? Possible. $2 from Lord Bear 92. What's the most simple attack to use with a katana? I'm gonna say the men, which is the direct strike to the head, and it's what Kendo is optimized with, I suppose, and it's of course present in Kenjutsu as well. 204 people, by the way, and 41 likes. Thank you so much, anybody. So yeah, direct strike to the head, cutting motion, katana. You can thrust with a katana. It's not curved like an Indian talwar, so you can still thrust effectively with a katana, but it's still optimized for cutting. So it's still a better cutter than it is a thruster, so I'm going to say a cut to the head. $5 from Pedro Exp. Thanks so much, my friend. And he says, since you are in the States right now, are there plans for a collab with Scalagrim since you're both in relatively similar time zones? Well, that could be cool. Of course, visiting Scalagrim would be problematic because I'm in Tennessee and he's in Canada. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll have to see if he's up to it. Then absolutely, I'm definitely up to it. And $1 from Alexander. Thank you so much, my friend. Salve Metatron says Sadi Corpus. I very much appreciate. And again, $1 from Brown Bricks, guys. You're being really, really amazing. Thank you so much for your generosity. I very much appreciate everything you do. And again, not only from the financial point of view, of course, I'm very thankful for anybody who separates himself from his hard work money to support my channel and my production. It really means the world for me, but also just the idea of you watching my content and being present and everything. I really thank you for that. And by the way, just to let you know, my next video, little spoiler, my next video is going to be one of the VS series. So you know that I've made a lot of videos like Roman Army versus Crusader Army, Roman Empire versus Chinese Empire and Japanese and whatnot. Well, the next one is going to be medieval archers versus medieval crossbowmen. So that's going to be a big video. I'm actually writing the script as we speak. Well, I'm pausing now that because, you know, I can't do a streaming and writing a script at the same time. But that's going to be the next video. So the VS series is back. And we have a question from Jonah something Brooks, and he says, when shall we expect to see you and Shad Diversity in the same video? Soon, hopefully, because I really like Shad's work, and we often talk about collaborations and collaborating, so definitely that's something coming up. In fact, you know that I recently made the second episode of the series What If, the first one being What If the Undead existed in the Middle Ages, and now I've recently made What If Magic existed in the Middle Ages, and I'm considering a video on the lines of What If Dragons existed in the Middle Ages, and of course there would be a perfect collaboration format for Shad Diversity, but I will make the third video only if the second one goes well. So we'll see if the second video goes well and it gets some reasonable views. And again, sorry guys for shaking the camera so much. And I'll consider making a third episode. $10 from Erin Cowell. Thank you so much, my friend. Love your work, he says. Keep it going. I definitely shall. I shall keep it going. Absolutely. Metatron was in New York a few weeks ago. Yes, I was. And then I I just spent like a few days in New York, like 4 days, and then I came to Tennessee, and I've been in Tennessee since because my girlfriend is from Tennessee, and so there's that. She's here, in fact, with me. Maybe she'll pop by and say hello in a moment. So got 5 minutes from Christopher Sierra. If in your travels, what is the biggest challenge facing youth in regards to education, and what is the most frustrating thing you come across? Well, when you travel, I think, because as you know, I've traveled a lot, and I've seen China, I've seen Japan, or lived in Japan. Of course, I know Italy, which is of course my country like the back of my hand. Now I'm in America. I visited lots of different countries in Europe, like Switzerland, Poland, and whatnot. And England, of course, I lived in England as a youngster. The hardest challenge for someone who moves to another country rather than someone who's a tourist in another country, in my opinion, is adapting to the culture and the perspective, because people will do things differently than the way that you're used to, and the easiest and most common mechanism, sort of mental mechanism to that, is starting criticizing everything. And that's something that I've learned to try and not to do. So to have an open mind on to considering the fact that when you go to another country, you need to remember that you are the one who is sort of different there. And so you shouldn't expect people to behave the way you do. So that's probably the hardest challenge, I believe. Hello, love. Come here. Come say hello. So here's my girlfriend. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I have no makeup on. Please don't judge me.
No, you're gorgeous. So yeah, that's Kenzie Mackenzie, and that's my girlfriend.
Hi, friends.
Hello. So we've got another question here from Luis Romano. He says, "Why did you live in England?" Well, I wanted to learn English, and England is the closest English-speaking country to Italy, and therefore that's where I went as a teenager, and that's where I picked up my English. And English Royalist says, "God bless you. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much." So that's why I moved to England to learn English. Um, let's see. Do you like Star Wars? Asks Darth Revan. How do you read that? Revan? Revan?
Darth Revan.
Darth Revan. There you go. The TH.
Who doesn't like Star Wars?
Who doesn't like Star Wars? Absolutely. I like Star Wars, and I also like the concept, the idea of the Jedi Knight, because yeah, they're called knights, and yes, they do use swords, but their philosophy is very Asian. If you think about it, it's very sort of samurai oriented. I think it's a
Thank you.
cute girlfriend says, "Well done." Thank you, so my friend.
Thank you.
Odin. Well done is like Odin. It's the way you pronounce it in the old.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So
That's
you
cool.
you have been complimented by a god.
Oh my
I
goodness.
suppose.
I'm humbled. Thank you.
There you go. Okay, so what else have we got? Let me see. She says
Makeup is proposals. You guys seem real.
Oh
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, she's real. Absolutely, absolutely. So Andrew says, "Glad you're enjoying America. Just don't watch the news. LOL." If you could go back in time and talk to one person, who would it be? I think, hmm, it's a difficult question because if I need to keep it within the realm of military leaders, I'm going to say Julius Caesar, like Julius Caesar. I'm very interested in his military mind and political mind, and as a strategist, of course. And he has done things that are questionable from an ethical standpoint, but he definitely was a very effective general and a very effective tactician. So I would love to speak to the man directly. And so, yeah, definitely. That's if we keep it military, I'm going to say that. Hello there, Kenzie says
Yeah, Gavin.
Smith with a no
With a Y.
with a Y, because why not? I mean, yeah,
Hey,
let's be free to express
let's
ourselves.
change it up. Get a little crazy. Hi,
Yeah.
Gavin. How are you?
So Sergio Cano says, "How's your day going, mate?" It's going fantastic. It's going really well. I've been working on my script all day, and then we popped to a shop just to buy a mouse.
Hops to a shop.
Can you say that? Is that okay?
Oh
No?
yeah,
Okay.
you can say it one. Yeah, I
Okay.
did get a mouse.
Yeah, she got a mouse.
Like the one for your computer, not like a little.
Not an actual animal mouse, no. Um, Kevo Rodriguez just donated 10, I think that's Mexican something.
Ooh,
Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate everybody's
that's great.
contributions. And people are like, the noble ones are really the noble ones. Like I couldn't choose a better name
Ooh.
for it. Well, moving to Japan in a week. Any tips? Gosh, my friend, be ready to jot it down because I got a lot. Now, and just say a couple of things. Moving to Japan. First of all, I hope you know Japanese. If you don't, well, keep in mind that the Japanese don't really speak English very well unless they are Japanese who moved to America, lived to America or England. Then they do. But yeah, be prepared to. You really need to dive into the language, my friend, because you need it. Otherwise, it's impossible to live in Japan and enjoy it. So yeah, do that. Steve with a B says, Metatron, is there a relation between Roman Empire and the Catholic Church today? I'm going to say yes. I mean, the Catholic Church is very Roman. In fact, it is called Roman Catholic, and for a reason. I mean, there are a lot of things, even like the central um, building, shall we say, when you say the Curia, which is the very central neuralgic um, point area of the Catholic Church where the leaders are and whatnot. Yes, all that. That's a Roman name. It's a Latin name, and it wasn't even religious. It originates in Rome, but it was a political thing. There is a lot of Rome, which sort of spreads into the Catholic approach to Christianity. That's important to say. £5 from Mariano Pico. Thank you so much, my friend. I see you spread your wings, he says, and flew to America. Yes, I did indeed. I wondered what you thought about burricos. Burrico. Well,
Boricos.
I've got a video on Japanese burrito, my friend. I've got a video on the burrito. This is how much they drive me nuts. It's for those who don't know, a burrito in Japanese is a grown woman who behaves and talks like a child.
Oh yeah.
That's a burrito. It's a typical Japanese thing. Not all Japanese girls are like that. I'd like to underline. But some are like that, and it drives me nuts. So I think you knew it. I think you did it on purpose, you cheeky. Are you a fan of Final Fantasy? Asks Alucard. What do you think about it? I love Final Fantasy. She knows it.
I do.
Do you like Final Fantasy?
I do. Of course I do.
Who doesn't?
I haven't played very many of them, but I do like it. The one that I've played the most is 7.
7, yeah. 7 is like it's a staple. Like it's probably the most famous one. I'm gonna say the best one, although it's not my favorite one. So I gotta be objective about it. Final Fantasy 7 has probably got the best story, most compelling story. So if someone asks me what's the best Final Fantasy, I'm gonna say 7, but it's not my favorite. The one I enjoyed the most was 10. Final Fantasy 10 and the whole story of Tidus was amazing. I played it twice, finished it twice. It's one of the few games that actually moved me. Like when I watched the end, it frigging made me cry, that game. Fantastic piece of work, absolutely. So let me see.
What is the time there? It is.
So someone, what is the time here? What's the time? It's 4:45.
Okay.
Yeah, because I still have the New York time in my, for whatever reason.
Oh, did you? Since yours is an
I
hour
never
ahead, would
changed
be
it.
3? No, before.
Yeah,
No,
it's 4:45. So someone is writing in Spanish. Let me try and read it.
Okay.
So podemos hablar en español también, and I understand this. Me gustaría mucho poder hablar contigo. Espero ver otros vídeos de todos los idiomas que tú hablas. Yes, I got everything. I love Romance languages. It's like a freaking magical thing. So yeah, he says he likes we can speak Spanish as well. He'd like to be able to speak with me, or he likes the idea he can speak with me, and he hopes to see more videos in other languages, in the other languages that I speak. And I actually will do. I am planning on making a full video in Japanese with English subtitles, possibly about. At first I wanted to make a video in Japanese about the Japanese samurai because Japanese topic, Japanese language, but excuse me. But then I decided maybe it would be cool to make a video in Japanese about the medieval European knight, because at the end of the day, who's gonna click a video in Japanese? Most likely the Japanese and a few weebos. So,
Noel says, make sure he drinks some good old sweet tea while he's here. He will.
Okay,
Trust.
sounds good.
Before he
Yeah,
leaves, he will try sweet
I still
tea.
haven't though.
No, I know you haven't,
There you go.
but you will.
I went to a few fast food. Yeah, we went to a few places like Taco Bell and whatnot. So
We need to get sweet tea. All we have to do is just go up to the Sonic right up here and just be
Okay.
like, can I get sweet tea?
sounds good. So, question from Eldrin. There is Japanese armor that is similar to Greek hoplite armor. How do you think they compare? I think you're talking about the Iron Age armor, the tanko and the keiko, probably the tanko you're meaning, the infantry one. And it's interesting. It's interesting. I've actually seen a real one at the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And yeah, they look very similar, although it's iron. Greek original would have been bronze, but at the end of the day, both bronze and iron perform very well. They're excellent metals. I was considering making a video to talk about the differences between bronze and iron. Anyways, probably the interesting thing, and then I'm going to read another comment. The interesting thing about early Japanese armor is that it tapered at the waist, and I'm talking about Iron Age armor, and that's fascinating because samurai armor lost this tapering at the waist for some reasons. I don't know if they lost the technology. I don't know if they thought it wasn't important. But when you talk about oyoroi, so the samurai armor worn by the early kind of samurai, that most of the weight it was hung on the shoulders, and to see the actual silhouette of the tapering at the waist and the body and the weight of the armor on the hips, you'll have to wait for the Toseigosoku, so the new late 15th century, 16th century kind of armor. And that's interesting because they already had that technology in the Iron Age with the Tanko iron armor. And so I have no idea why that happens, and I've read quite a lot about it, and people are puzzled, scholars are puzzled by it. But anyways, both good sets of armor, definitely. We've got a donation of $5 from Phantom11. Thank you so much, my friend. And he asks, can you do more videos on samurai armor? There you go. How is the European set of armor coming along? What is your favorite lightsaber form and color? Right, one step by step. So more videos on samurai armor, absolutely. I wanted to compile and make the ultimate guide to samurai armor because there isn't much on the internet. I've been looking for videos that really explain how samurai armor works and all the different kinds of do, so the torso armor that existed, which is mind blowing, believe me. And so yeah, I will do it. I will make it. Thank you for reminding me. The European set of armor is coming along, but it's taking time, to get the measurements. I've ordered already my arming doublet, so the soft kit. That should be arriving any moment, really. And once that's done, then I can send my measurements for the breastplate, because I need to do that in the arming doublet. Favorite lightsaber color? Definitely blue. 20 DKK, which I don't know what that is, from Jessica Fox. Thank you so much, Jessica. And she says, thanks for all the hard work. We appreciate you. Well, thank you so much. I mean, you make it worth it, all of you guys, because if nobody watched my content, there would be no reason to make anything. Yeah. So I'm glad that you guys exist, the noble ones. And we've got 100 SE key sec, whatever that is, from Martin Calendar. Thank you so much, my friend. And he asks, why do you never compare Knights, Vikings, whatever, with medieval Roman? Whenever you do your comparison videos, you wouldn't have to make up contrived excuses for the Roman to win if you do that. I'm a Roman fanboy, what can I say? I admit that. But medieval versus Roman, we were talking about this yesterday with her, actually, believe it or not, because I did make in the past a video comparing medieval armor with Roman armor, and I've never made a video comparing medieval battle weapons with Roman battle weapons, so that could be an idea. Although, guys, if you're interested in knowing, in watching a video about the Roman gladius, for example, then Matt Easton at Schola Gladiatoria has just released an excellent take on it. So I suggest you to check it out, definitely. Thank you, Akim Flo, for the donation of $1. I appreciate that. The multiple donations of $1. Thank you so much, my friend. Adam Enekes, whatever, he asks, yo, Metatron. Yo, Adam. What do you think of Hungary? I think it's really cool, and you make really good salami. But I've never been to your country, so I'd love to go somewhere at one point. So, interesting question from Sketch Sesh, and he says, "Do you think the Catholic Church is just repackaged paganism?" Very interesting question. No, I wouldn't call the Catholics pagan from a Christian point of view. Because again, we need to take a perspective on this, like from whose point of view? Because if you're a worshipper of Thor and the ancient Norse gods, then Christians are pagans from your point of view. So from the point of view of the Christians, I don't think Catholics should be considered pagans, but they are definitely a take on Christianity that is heavily influenced by the Roman ways. And it is more evident if you really know the Roman ways well. Even the purple worn by the bishops and whatnot. It's all Roman. It's all Roman. But anyways, there is that. $5 from Sean Rush. Thank you, my friend. Oh, damn, we got the Italian stallion right here. Stay awesome, bud. Thank you, pal. Yeah, and I think I've only been called Italian stallion like 3 times in my life, but yeah, that's the fourth time. There you go.
Ooh la la.
Oh la la. €2 from Fury of Titans. Thank you so much, my friend. Thoughts on the Tercios army? Hi from Spain. Not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to go and check that out. So I will. Thank you for mentioning. And since this video is then kept on the YouTube channel, and it's I'll do that. I'll do just that. I'll use this as reference for further study. Connor asks, how do you feel about lineages in Kenjutsu and other arts? Do you see Hima going down the same route? Here's the thing. As you know, I am a Kenjutsu practitioner. And now I can say I'm a sort of a Hima practitioner because I practiced German longsword a few times and the Italian style with Matt Easton a little bit. He taught me one lesson when I went to London. And I'd like to start a Hima, well, I won't start a Hima club in Italy, but when I move to America, because eventually I will move to America, I will definitely go keep on practicing Hima. So, I have a problem with Kenjutsu. I love Kenjutsu, don't get me wrong. I respect Kenjutsu practitioners a lot. I think it's a beautiful art, and it's something that we really need to preserve. It's a world treasure. But sometimes, as you say, like Kenjutsu is very linked to tradition. And what I like about Hima is that Hima has, they teach you the techniques and then you apply the techniques in combat. And I think that they should do that in Kenjutsu as well, but they're not going to change that because, again, they're linked to the traditions. And the way they've been doing it now is that they don't really do combat. And I don't agree with that, And that doesn't mean I disrespect them. I don't. Some people think that that's already disrespecting. The only idea of not agreeing with the traditions is considered disrespectful. And I don't agree with that because I think people should, any man should and woman should be free to speak their mind. And that's why I have a lot of respect for Kenjutsu, but I have a little bit extra respect for Hima people because they fight. And I think any technique, to me, it's just a dance if you don't. Hima was fun. My girlfriend came with me to the Hima thing and she watched it and she took the footage. Actually, she really liked it. So there is that. And now we've got $2 from Cult of Magnus Malgus. Thank you so much. Piemontese in Maryland, really? You missed my second sub chat. Oh, sorry, pal. Sorry, pal. So you're from Piemonte. That's really cool. I'm from Sicily, from down south. You can't get more southern than me from an Italian perspective. So there's that. Someone asks, what do you think of Matteo Salvini? Well, I try to keep out of politics, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Salvini, I've got to say, but I don't hate him either. I'm just indifferent to him, to be honest. So there is that. $10 from Andrew Siddle. Thanks so much, my friend, for your help and your support. And he says, hey, I'm studying Taiji Jian. I understand the Chinese fist thing. And was wondering if you know of any good sources. Love the channel, by the way. I'm not sure about Chinese martial arts sources unless we talk about ancient Chinese. So, not sure about that. Sorry, pal. 5 Brazilian, I think, BRL, Brazilian Lira, Brazilian something, I don't know. From Gabriel, thank you, Gabriel. Greetings, Rafs, he says. I love the videos you speak Japanese or Latin. Do you speak Portuguese? I don't speak Portuguese, unfortunately. I know how to say obrigado, so I will say obrigado to you. But no, I don't speak Portuguese. And funny enough, of all the Romance languages, Romanian and Portuguese are the ones that I really don't understand. Literally. Like, I have no idea what the heck people are on about when they speak. Instead, when I hear French or Spanish, usually I can understand if it's not too complicated. So, yeah, there is that. And I will make more videos in Latin, I will. So, Mr. Gandalf, the mage himself, asks me an interesting question. He says, are you gay? Well, my answer is no, I'm not gay. Yeah, so respect for those who are, whatever, do your thing. But I'm not. I mean, it just showed my girlfriend a minute ago, but yeah. Noah's Combat Club says Egyptian versus Japanese. That's a nice one. That's a very nice one. Although it will have to be, because you have to choose an Egyptian dynasty, and then you would have to clash the Japanese of the same time period against them. Because often when we think something versus Japanese, we immediately think of samurai. But samurai, it's already, 11th century, 15th century. So if you're talking about very ancient Egyptian dynasties, then there is going to be a massive technological gap. So it will be interesting to see situation whereas we see what the Japanese were doing at that time. So Bronze Age, Iron Age, which I have already done when I compare the Romans against the Japanese of the same time period, so Iron Age Japanese. And if you're interested in that, you can find my video on it, Japanese versus Roman. There is a lot of information on the Japanese Iron Age on that video because I tried to prepare my audience, because I know that a lot of people are very knowledgeable in the samurai, but not many people know much about the Japanese Iron Age warriors, which I think are very, very interesting. Egyptians versus Nevada. Well, sorry, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna make that. No, but there is that. So $2 from Phantom 11. Thank you. You said you missed my question. Sorry, pal. If you can write it again, please, because I'm getting overwhelmed, literally. So no hard feelings or anything. I'm not doing it on purpose, but I'm getting a lot of questions. So I'm trying to read as many as I can. So let me see if there is a way to see that very quickly. Yes. So let me see very quickly. I'm taking just a moment now to read some of the super chats again as a form of thanks to the people who donated some of the hard worked money. And so let's see if I missed something. We have got, let me see. Oh yes, we've got $5 from Goddess Astrola, and she says, have you gotten to try any southern cuisine delicacies while you've been visiting Nashville? Absolutely. I mean, my girlfriend's mum is really good at cooking. She made like, what was it? Chicken fantastic?
Oh man,
Chicken spectacular.
Yeah, it's like this
That was good.
casserole. It's got like chicken. And
Chicken
cheese
like a
in
casserole. Yeah, it was good. No, yeah, I tried chicken. I tried, what did I try? Tried a lot of things.
Steaks.
Steak.
We had
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. Yeah, we tried that. And coffee. We had a lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I suppose I did, and I will continue to do so.
IHOP.
Yes. Let's see some other questions here. Lots of questions. $5 from Omega 501, and he says, who were the Trojans? Were they related closely to the Greeks or most of the Hittites? Inoltre studio italiano a causa tua, grazie. Okay, you wouldn't say a causa, you would say grazie a te. So you would say studio italiano grazie a te. When you want to say thanks to you, because of you, in Italian we say thanks to you. We say grazie a te. A causa, it's used usually for negative things, usually. So you could say, for example, a causa del terremoto, so because of the earthquake, then people had to leave their homes, for example. So that's how you use it. And on the Trojans, I remember reading something about it, but my mind completely deleted that information for some reason. So I'll see if I can find it, if I can remember it. But at the moment, I'm not sure. I'm trying to find the question from Phantom 11. So again, if you can write it again, my friend, I'll try and read it, because I'm trying to look for it, but let's see. But I can't find it. Hopefully I can find it later. So again, we've got $2 from Bistrick, and he says, what do you think of baton as a weapon? I think it's a good weapon when you don't have access to real weapons. Okay, so let me clarify that. A baton is a good weapon, but of course I think it's basically a club, isn't it? So a mace is a better weapon. A sword is definitely a better weapon if you're going against someone who has got no armor. And I'm gonna say a knife is. I would rather have a knife than a baton in a one-on-one real duel. Life to death duel. So it's a good weapon, but if you don't have alternative, I'm gonna say. So there is that. $5 from Mika Simpson. I wonder if he's yellow. How was Luigi Cadorna perceived at the time versus how he perceived now? I have no idea who Luigi Cadorna is, my friend. I'm sorry. I suppose it's someone from Italian history, maybe modern Italian history. I don't know. So medieval Italian history? No idea. So hope you can tell me about that. And I've got a donation from Mohammed Maki. All love from Egypt, Metatron. Please keep up. I surely will. Thank you so much. Oh, this is a funny one, guys. E1 Brain just donated £5 and he wrote, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Tongue twister. I think I passed. Did I? And then I'm going to say all the wood that a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. How about that? Okay, so best Warhammer faction and why is it Bretonia? £2 from my one brain. Thank you, friend. Yes, my favorite faction is definitely Bretonia, and that is because it's the most historical looking one. Like if you look at, and I understand that the Warhammer universe is fantasy. And by the way, you rock, says Zintra. Thank you so much. Um, so I understand it's fantasy, but my love for real, authentic looking, historically accurate weapons and armor is not cancelled just by the fact that I know that something is fantasy. So, when you look at the elves, for example, I'm a big elf lover. I always play elves in role playing games, and I even have some Elveneers here somewhere, believe it or not. But still, they look very fantasy, and the Bretonians are really well made. Like Breton, I own a lot of Bretonian miniatures, as you know, and they really look good. They really look believable. They're very historically accurate. And yes, the Empire is more of a late, I'm gonna say 15th, 16th century kind of, yeah, it's a 16th century looking army, whereas Britannia tends to be more between 13th and 14th century looking, occasionally early 15th, but mostly I'm going to say it's a 14th century looking army. But really, the Bretonians, I don't know what it was, but it's just that the miniatures look more realistic, and that's why they're my favorite ones. Okay, someone asks me, what do you think about Gennaro Contaldo? I don't know who Gennaro Contaldo is, so I have no thoughts about it. Do a video, says Khajiit, definitely an Elder Scrolls player. Do a video about what if vampires really existed in feudal Japan. Interesting, interesting. It's definitely writing it down as one of the possible videos of the future of that specific series if the series goes well. And when I say go well, these are my criteria for my content productions, just so you know. I usually make a video when I have a video idea. I usually, even if it's something that I want to turn into a series, I don't unless it performs well. And so when I say perform well, I'm happy with a video of mine when it cracks 30k views. And that is because I have 350k subs. So ideally, I should get, for a video to be successful, it should get 10% of your attention, at least. So if a video of mine caps at 10k views, it means that it didn't engage your curiosity. It means that it wasn't something you're interested in. And at the end of the day, yes, I can make the occasional video just for myself, but most of the content I make is it's for you. Noble ones. So when a video of mine cracks 30k, 35k, I'm like, yeah, well, 10% clicked, so I'm happy with that. But for it to be turned into a series with episodes, then it needs to get at least 50k. That's the way I work on it. And the first video, what if the undead really existed in the Middle Ages, in 3 months got to 50k views, and that's why I made the second one. The second one is doing okay-ish at the moment, and I'm gonna give it time. Gonna wait. If the video cracks 50k views soon, then I'll immediately make an episode. But if the video needs 3-4 months to get to that point, then the next episode will have to wait. If it caps at 20k, unfortunately, I'll have to stop the series. That's how I do things on my channel at the moment. So there's that. Martin Calendar, thank you so much. You've been donating a lot on this streaming. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna say, considering the amount of money that people have donated already, I think I'm considering, if this keeps going up, I will invest some on this, on some new armor or weapon, so I can use that for review. So there is that. Thank you so much, guys. Blank and Blade, hey there. I think that's Martin, isn't it? Bretonia is designed by Perry Brothers. Yes, that's definitely Martin, my German friend. He knows his stuff. Reenactors and geniuses by themselves. There you go. So that no wonder he says yes. Look up their historical range. You Muppet. yes, I am a Muppet. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. So there you go. That makes sense. Absolutely. I can see that they are designed by reenactors because Bretonians look real. Respect Metatron, says Sketch Sesh. Thanks so much. Respect back to you. Please don't do more Q&A in the future. I'm considering actually of making Q&A a monthly thing. And so I will choose a day, probably like the 15th of each month was an idea, or maybe the end of each month. And I will make a Q&A every month. I don't want to do too much streaming because, at the end of the day, streaming, I know a lot of people enjoy streaming. I myself, I'm not a streamer, so I understand that there are some people out there who do streaming all the time and they're really good at it. They're very entertaining. Me, well, I'm doing my best. I hope that I can entertain you well. And so my idea for streaming, I still prefer making, edited content and scripted content and whatnot, the sort of videos that I usually make. Because, for example, one of my favorite channels out there is Vsauce, and his videos are really, really, they're freaking movies. That's how much work goes into those videos in terms of preparation, script writing, and research. And I like doing the research well before I make a video. So I will never like make a lot of streaming, but I do enjoy the contact and the with you, because definitely streaming is much better than reading comments and answering weeks or months afterwards when people have already forgotten that they had what they had asked. So yeah, I definitely want to make streaming an ongoing process on my channel, and I'm considering once a month is a good idea. And then if you guys really, really like it, and then I see a lot of comments asking me to increase, I might consider twice a month. I don't think it will go more than that, but that's the thing. So we've got a question from Carmen Davis, and she says, will you ever do a video on Chinese armor and or Chinese weapons? I'm very, very curious on the topic. I already have. I have a video on Chinese dynasties, that's for sure, and I might have mentioned a few things on weapons and armor. I do have a video on the Japanese Jamadao, I think it's called. I don't remember the tones, but it's the original Chinese massive sword that the Japanese copied when they created first the Zambato and then the Nodachi. So I do have something on Chinese stuff. So if you don't know how to, just write on the Google, on the YouTube search engine, just write Metatron Chinese, and you'll find everything I've ever made on the Chinese. Because that was, Chinese history and language was my minor at university. My major was Japanese, but my minor was Chinese. And I had like a double major, English, Japanese, but I did study Chinese history a lot, and Chinese archaeology as well, for that matter, incidentally. So yeah, I'm planning on making more, absolutely. Matthew Sanchez asks, will you do a video about Southeast Asian history? Southeast Asian, maybe. I'm not very knowledgeable about it, but depending on what you mean by Southeast, if we go all the way to, for example, even India, my cousin, believe it or not, she is really knowledgeable on Indian history and culture, like really knowledgeable. And when I say really knowledgeable, I'm talking about a girl who was born in India, although she's Italian. She speaks Hindi fluently. She speaks the Calcutta dialect fluently. She lived in India for a long time. She's got a frigging PhD. Forgive me to boast a little bit about my cousin, but she's really good. She's got a PhD in Indian stuff, and we were considering talking about like the Indian gods and making a special, maybe a series, but at least a video, a collaboration between me and her. She speaks English well as well. We wanted to talk about Shiva, because Shiva is, as a deity, as an Indian deity, is found in a lot of video games. And of course, Final Fantasy being the most famous of them. But interestingly enough, Shiva is always represented as a woman in video games, whereas the original Shiva is a man. And that's just one small piece of information that my cousin taught me, so it could be interesting to make a video about it. What do you think? Patrick Star, $4. Thank you so much, my friend. Ricardo Marin asks, do you like Chinese swords? Yes, I do. I very much like Chinese swords. I think I like any sword, to be honest. And Egyptian swords, lately I've been looking up a lot of Egyptian swords. Really, really cool. Matteo Losardo writes in Japanese for us. And he says, Metatron-san, o genki desu ka? So he's asking me if I am well. Yes, I am. I'm well. Genki desu yo. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay. Jimmy D, I want to go and live in Japan for a little while. Any advice for learning Japanese? I really struggle with learning the language. Learning Japanese is a struggle and always will be. But a good way to work around that is to make it into a daily activity, a daily routine. When you learn an Asian language, whether it be Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, or Japanese, you cannot approach it like you do with Western languages. It's a lot tougher, it's a lot harder, and it's going to be a lot more frustrating than any other language you ever studied before. So you need to make it into your daily routine. It needs to be something that you do. I'm not going to say all day. I did back in the day, university studies, and also make a friend from Japan as quickly as possible and use your Japanese on them. Better if they don't speak English, to be honest. $2 from Matt Hawken. Thanks so much, my friend. He says, just wanted to say, New Yorkers also fold pizza. Do you? Cool. Great. Yeah. Good to know. Good to know that you do. I don't think you'd really need to, so I think you do it just for taste. I like folding my pizza. $2 from Patrick Starr. Thoughts on Korean swords and armor? Yes, yes, I have literally a dedicated folder on my desktop back home in Italy to Korean weapons and armor. And, a lot of early Japanese Iron Age armor was very influenced by Korean armor. So there is a lot of Korean influence into early Japanese warfare and weapons and armor. So I think I have been thinking of starting to cover that on my channel a little bit, and it will take some time because I need to gather a bit more information. I do know a thing or two about it, but I'm not as deep into it as I am with European or Japanese armor. But definitely, because I think it would expand our own overall understanding of Japanese armor development if we learn the weapons and armor designs and whatnot and history of both China and Japan, because they both influenced very strongly Japan. Noel Abbott laughs. He says, "LOL, PhD in Indian stuff." I know that wasn't very professional of me, but what can you do? So, question in Italian from Dito Impudico, and he says, "Secondo te i Longobardi avrebbero potuto unificare l'Italia già nel Medioevo?" So I'll translate it for you guys who don't know Italian. It's a good question. He says, "To you, do you think the Longobards could have unified Italy already in the Middle Ages?" And my opinion is no, because I mean, not 100% no. I mean, I can't really know, but I don't think so, because to unify a country, you need to be very strong militarily and politically. Maybe politically and economically more than militarily. And at the time, they were facing a lot, as you know, there were powers in the south that I think couldn't have been overwhelmed with what the Longobard could do, militarily speaking. So in the north, absolutely, but taking care of the southern kingdoms would have been too much for them, in my humble opinion. If you think about what Garibaldi did when he unified Italy, yes, we had battles, but he didn't really face that much opposition because there was a lot of fragmentation. Instead, in the Middle Ages, I mean, think of the Republic of Genoa. That is one strong republic, okay, and they were tough militarily. And when we think of the Genoese crossbowmen, it's important to say that they were not all from Genoa. I mean, when you talk about Genoese crossbowmen, you're really talking about northern Italian crossbowmen, really, because yes, the military school was in Genoa, and yes, the leaders would have been from noble families from Genoa, but you had people from Corsica, people from Parma, people from many Milan, many other cities. So, anyways, to cut a long story short, absolutely, I don't think they could have, because the Italian kingdoms were too tough to, I think, militarily impose a one country at the time. Why you have cut your hair? Asks Okri Gotrikson. I cut my hair because after many years of long hair, I was starting to get tired about it, and I wanted to. I think my decision to go for a shorter haircut, like I have now, was to also dive into the Roman stuff a bit more, and so that was one of the reasons. And also, my hair wasn't as healthy as it was, and so that was one of the reasons, I think. And yes, yeah, come here, come here, come here. There you go. My girlfriend is joining the party.
Hello.
So now we have your HP gauge as well, because this is Final Fantasy. Nice
Oh,
to know.
word.
Okay, what do you think about Vagabond? I've never watched it. Have you watched it?
No.
No, we haven't watched it. Sorry for that. So I'm going to scroll down now because I'm a little slow at reading the comments, and I'm getting a lot of comments. So I'm sure there is like an unbelievable lag. Let's see. Have you ever had Napolitan pizza? Yes, I have, because I got my university degree from the University of Naples. It's called Orientale. It means Oriental, although I do understand that Oriental in English has some kind of a negative aura attached to the term. It does not have that aura in Italian. In Italian, Orientale just means, Far Eastern. Anyways, so yes, I lived in Naples, so yes, I've had Naples pizza, and it's the best in the world. $2. Thank you so much from Heesong Kim. Are you Korean? I don't know. Thank you for your donation. Well, US dollars, I suppose you're in America. What happened to the Roman Ninth Legion? Oh, wow. Who knows, my friend? We should make a video and see what happens.
Thank you.
My God, she's beautiful. Thank you, my friend. I actually agree. I agree, my girlfriend is beautiful. So,
Thank you so much.
Majestic Satire says a girlfriend. Yes, she's my girlfriend. Yes, I'm here to visiting her in Tennessee. Do you still wear chainmail armor outside? Occasionally, yeah. I'm not used to say chainmail because I usually just say mail or mail shirt. Occasionally, but definitely not in America. Can you imagine trying to go through the airport metal detector wearing mail underneath your t-shirt? It would
And
be
then
so
the
funny.
buzzers go off and everything, and then you're just
Yeah.
like, oh wait, let me take off my shirt.
Yeah. Maybe I would be like, "What is in my belt? Do I need to take off my shoes?" And then in the meantime, you're wearing like steel on your. That would be funny.
The food's ready, by the way.
The food is ready.
See.
Okay. Well, you can go ahead and eat. I'll go continue a little bit
Okay.
longer. So that's thank you. Do you want to know what food she's talking about? She's talking about lasagna. Because her mum made lasagna today. So of course, very Italian of her, by the way.
See.
Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. So let's see.
Buono.
Molto buono, brava, brava. Okay, someone is asking, is your girlfriend of British or American origin? Well,
Wow.
you want to answer that one? Yeah, you answer that one.
Well, I'm from the state of Tennessee.
There you go.
I don't know why I said. No, I'm American. I'm from Tennessee.
You did say you have like ancestors from Ireland.
I do. Yeah, my mom's family, like few generations back,
Yeah.
Is from Ireland, and then my dad's family, not too far back, is German.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got green eyes.
Oh!
Green eyes.
No, my dad's family,
Mhm.
his dad, so my grandfather was like
German.
very German.
Okay.
So I have a lot more German than I do Irish, but
There you go. Yeah, a mixture. Like most Americans, I suppose.
yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, Metatron has a bay.
Yes, and he gave me $2 for that. Thank you, Majestic Set. I appreciate. Let's see, we've got another question in Italian. Let me read it and translate it for you, number ones. Metatron, vorrei collezionare armi, ma non ho soldi. Che cosa mi consigli? That's a very good point. It's a very good question, and I think it's good for everyone. So he's saying he would like, so Davide Leotta would like to collect weapons, but he doesn't have money. That's what he said. And so he says, what's your advice? Save up. That's my advice, because I'm never going to tell you buy cheap, and that's a mistake I've made. I think most people in the YouTube community have made this mistake. Maybe the only one who hasn't is Matt Easton. But here's the thing. Weapons and armor. I say save money, even if it's 20 euros a month, even if it's 10 euros a month. Just be patient, save money, and then, when you have enough money, you can start buying stuff that it's worth it. Because if you buy, for example, the sword that I have, it's a beautiful, beautiful sword, medieval sword, and it was made by Elgur Swords Makery, and it's spelled Elgur. If you guys want to look him up, Elgur Swords Makery. I think he's one of the best in Europe, to be honest. His swords are made the old-fashioned way, anvil and hammer. Nothing against Albion swords, but I love the idea of weapons being made the old traditional way, and he's really good. Now, a sword of him, I paid his sword 350 euros. I think now they're gone up. So probably the same sword will probably cost in the lines of 500 or 600, I suppose. Check the site if you want to know. But you're paying for quality. And you can get a sword for 70 euros, but it's going to break. And it's not even going to give you the reason why I think you, like me, want to buy weapons is because you want to have a feeling of what it means to hold a weapon. But to hold a cheap weapon made somewhere where they don't know how to make them, with cheap material, wrong balancement, and wrong hilt, does not give you that feeling. Okay, it's just a wall hanger, and wall hangers are supposed to be hanged on a wall, not held. So if you really want to experience what it means to have a weapon, save money. And if you want to buy, for example, armor, then the same concept, and don't buy cheap Lorica Segmentata, buy tailored Lorica Segmentata if you want to go for Roman reenactment. It takes a bit longer, it takes a bit more patience, but it is doable. Cut on things that are extra. If you smoke, quit smoking. Quit smoking, save that money, and use it to buy your weapons and armor. That is my suggestion. You okay?
Huh?
You okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, good.
It's actually not done.
Okay, no problem.
It's got like 10 minutes.
All right then, thanks. Carving Constache asks, how did you meet your girlfriend? Well,
Well,
she
well, well,
she
well.
wrote to my Metatron page because she found me on YouTube, and
Back in 2017.
back in 2017, yeah, and I found her message um, recently, really, and then I messaged her back, and then came to visit her, and there you go. Here we are. So through the Metatron channel,
The
you don't know.
rest was history.
The rest was history, she says. $2 from Giovanni Alvarez. Favorite African and Middle Eastern empire. If I'm gonna say African, I'm gonna say Egyptian, if you can call it an empire, really. Um, I love Northern African history very much. And in the Middle East, well, I really like the Persian Empire. That's an empire. So, in general, Persian history, very interesting. And you know what? It reminds me one of my first video game loves. One of the first games that I fell in love with, and it was Prince of Persia. Great game, the first one and the second one both. I don't actually like the new ones, the ones that are all about. They're all about graphics and in 3D and whatnot, exploiting the power of the machine, but it just lack the charm that the old ones had, in my opinion. Oh, my girl, Omega 501 asks, is your girlfriend interested in learning some Italian since you are together? See?
See?
See, she says see. Actually, she has been studying Italian. I've been teaching her. She's doing really well. She's picking it up quickly.
Oh,
Ninja
wow.
versus gamers. Okay, I need to scroll down a little bit. Blank Blade, €2. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Martin. I'll get you a hat too, I decided. Thank you so much, my friend. My friend Martin is actually getting me some a proper medieval garment, and it's great. And I really appreciate you, Martin. Thank you so much. You'll be seeing that soon, and apparently a hat as well. Thank you, my friend. So, a CMDR slash EZ the Ghost says, is $2,000 a good price for a set of samurai armor? Absolutely. Go through the site, what is it called? Iron Mountain Armory. I strongly suggest them. With $2,000, you can get yourself some really decent armor. I mean, at the end of the day, that's pretty much how much I paid for my samurai armor set that you see. It was about 2K, including shipping. And yeah, they make really good armor. So Iron Mountain Armory, this video is not sponsored by them, but still, they deserve it. They make good stuff. They said that they're gonna send me some free armor soon, actually. So there is that. So I will be reviewing some new samurai armor that they've been making, and so look forward to that. But yeah, definitely 2K. It's good, yeah. If you spend 3,000, 4,000, it's overkill. You don't need that. 2K is definitely enough for a good set of samurai armor. Okay, let's see. Oh yes, there is a question in Japanese. Ricard Spaghetti says, "Mada shaddo no hongo yomimasen ka?" So he's asking me, have you read, um, have you read the book from Shad? Not yet, but I need to ask him for a copy. I'll do that. I'm definitely going to read that. And I'm writing a book on my own, but I'll leave that to that. I'll make a dedicated video on it, but there will be a book written by the Metatron soon. So,
It's
well, no,
gonna be
soon.
great.
I don't know if it's gonna be soon. It's gonna take me some time. Huh?
I said it's gonna be great.
Thank you, Pi. Okay, someone is asking, is there a way, oh, Cult of Malgus, is there a way to PM you concerning something important to me in regards to my Italian heritage? It would mean a lot to me. Yes, okay, so if you go to the information tab on my YouTube channel, you will find an email. Now, that's my work-related email, and I get a lot of mail, so there is that, but you can use that and to contact me directly. You can also use the PM here on YouTube, or you can use PM on my Facebook page, Metatron. It's just that understand that I do get a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. We are in the range of 500 a day. I'm not joking. So, which surprises me. It amazes me that so many people would be interested in contacting me and speaking to me. It's really humbling. It's a humbling experience because yes, I have a decently successful channel. I mean, I'm not in the millions range, but I am, 350K followers. It blows my mind. I still remember, after 2 years of my YouTube endeavor, I had 250 subscribers. So then something just happened, and here we are. But imagine, it still is amazing to me that people really enjoy talking to me at the moment. 234 people are watching this, and this is amazing for me. It's amazing. It really humbles. I don't understand how some people, there are some YouTubers who actually become celebrities, with having channels in the range of 10 million, 20 million subs and whatnot, and some stay humble, others really turn into celebrities and they act like celebrities. I hope that never happens to me, and not to grow. I hope to grow, of course, but I hope I never forget that we are all the same at the end of the day. And one of the reasons I think that is important to remember, one of the reasons to keep trying not to turn into one of those freaking celebrity freaks, is to I think it's to, for example, when I do collaborations, I never look at the subscriber count. I don't care. If I look at the channel and I like the channel and I think it has a potential to bring some good content for my audience, as far as I'm concerned, even if they have 10 subs, they are eligible for a collaboration with me. Absolutely. I hate the politics, the business like approach where if you don't have at least 500k subs, I'm not even gonna look at you. I hate it. It just doesn't make sense. Of course, I'm not gonna be fake and say that I wouldn't be happy to collaborate with someone who's got 2 million subs, because I understand that that's going to give a boost in my subscriber count. So of course I'm not going to be false and say that I wouldn't be happy. I would be happy, but that must not be the only way you select a eligible channel to collaborate with you. And that's something that I try to keep as the basic, solid and unchanging policy on collaborations on the Metatron channel. And that's how it's going to be, even if God's willing I'll ever get to a very big amount of subs. So for me, mark my words, even if I get to 5 million subs, if a channel with 100 subscribers wants to collaborate with me and I think that they do good work, they will. Okay, so that's not a problem for me. Okay, so we've got acknowledge Liquid Back's incredible wisdom, says Martin Calendar, and thank you for your donation. I don't know who that is. So yeah, I can acknowledge his wisdom, but I need to get to know who he is first. By the way, guys, I'd like to take this opportunity to give a little shout out to a channel that I like a lot. And apart from, of course, Shadiversity and Scholar Gladiatoria, Scalagrim and Lindebej, these are my favorite channels ever. But Knight Errant is a channel. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to upload recently because he has been injured, but he's really knowledgeable on armor, so check him out. And there is also there's another channel I wanted to mention. Snap Jelly, yeah, I've been watching his content lately. Check him out if you don't know him. Snap Jelly, he's really cool. He makes really fun stuff. Bruva asks, is your girlfriend into armor? Well, she appreciates it. She's a gamer. She plays video games, and of course, video games feature a lot of medieval weapons and armor. She likes magic. She plays Skyrim. I think she played a lot of Skyrim. She told me yesterday,
I
actually.
have it on like every single
Yeah, there you go.
platform.
She said,
Except Xbox.
I don't know if you can hear her, but she said she has Skyrim on every possible platform. So yes, I suppose she appreciates armor. I mean, she doesn't own armor, but she appreciates armor.
No, tell him the one that I am obsessed with, the one that you showed me. I forget the name of it.
Which
but it's
one?
the helmet that's pointed.
Oh yeah, her favorite helmet. She became obsessed with the bassinet,
Yeah.
the hound skull, pig-faced bassinet, and yeah, that's pretty cool helmet. It's not my favorite, but I really like it. I really like it. So Micah Simpson says Oriental has a negative connotation in the States because that's what Asian people were called in anti-Asian propaganda. Yeah. I'm aware of that. I mean, I did forget it that was the reason, but now you mention it, I remember reading something about it. I occasionally use Oriental in English, but I don't mean it in a bad way, because again, you have understand where I'm coming from. In Italian, it's definitely not. It's not. It has nothing. No negative connotation at all. So Irini Kiki says hello from Greece. Well, hello to you. Sas Efcharistopoli. Okay, how long are you in the US? And unfortunately, I'm leaving on the 25th, unfortunately. So there is that. But I will come back and I'm planning on moving here for good, anyways. So, how is your life at the moment? It's fantastic. Best time of my life, best period of my life. What's your favorite food? Pasta. That was an easy one. uh, how's So, we've got €5 from Fury of Titans. Thank you so much, and sorry if it took me forever to acknowledge your donation. I'm a little slow with streaming because, there are a lot of people, and I'm trying to read as much as I can. He says, Fury of Titans says, greetings from Spain. Buenos dias. Do you understand Catalan? Example, bona nit vuol dir que ser español es un... Ike descanses. A little bit, but no, not really. It's a bit difficult. I think it's easier for do you call it Castilian, Castellan? I don't know. Madrid Spanish. It's a little easier for me to understand than Catalan, I think. But yeah,
By the way.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. $10 from 45 North. So thank you so much, my friend. And we've got $1 from Hesung Kim. Are you Korean? Well, I don't know, but thank you. Thank you for that. So, okay, let me see. We've got loads of questions here. Loads of questions coming. My favorite anime. I used to like Evangelion a lot. I still do. But I also like, what is the name? Blame. I love Blame. Blame is great. It's on Netflix. So there is that.
And he got really into Parasite.
Oh yeah, we've been watching Parasite together. She mentioned that. She talked me into it. And it's a good one.
It's a really good. If you haven't seen Parasite, and if you like more, yeah, I guess you could consider it like a more horror type of anime. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's a good one. We've got a good question from Tues Taco, and he says, which country is the true heir of Rome? Huh. Well, my Italianness and the diluted blood running in my veins, the diluted pizza running in my veins, wants me to say Italy. But unfortunately, modern Italy, goodness gracious, we really, lost a lot of the splendor of Rome. I mean, Rome was such a well-organized country, and what the heck are we doing in Italy, modern Italy? I don't know. I mean, we still have some beautiful things about Italy, but it's a mess politically, and we can't build stuff. The Romans could build very quickly, and for us, take us 20 years to make a frigging road, and the Roman legionaries could make a road in months. So it's ridiculous. But true heir of Rome. I don't know if there is a true heir of Rome. I mean, some of the things in America are obviously based on Rome. I mean, you've got, the Republic, and you've got the eagle. A lot of things are similar to Rome in America, but I don't think there is an heir, unfortunately, to Rome. What can I say? Fury of Titan says my super chat went away. No, I don't think it did, my friend. It just takes me forever to, because I can click here. Let me see. So Blank, I'm gonna have a look at a few super chats now. And then I'll get back to reading all comments. So Blank Blade, thank you. You're being very generous, my friend. This donation is due to your girlfriend's helm taste. Yeah, I'll tell her later. Now she went to have some dinner. And True Heir of Rome, he says HRE. Ever heard of it? No. Byzantine Empire video, $5 from Liquid Back. Yes, absolutely. Although I do have a video on late antiquity. It was a Patreon only documentary, but after a month and a half I released it on the channel as well for everybody to watch, because my patrons said I should do that. So my patrons are very, very nice people. So it's not exactly a video on the Byzantine Empire, but if you like late antiquity, and I suppose you do, you could do, maybe I could make a video West Roman Empire versus East Roman Empire. That could be a good one. Thank you so much again, guys, for all your donations. I really appreciate it. And again, if someone gives me a donation with a super chat and I don't see it, I apologize profusely. It's just that I'm a little slow at this. Majestic Satire donated $2 and he says, oh, Metatron has a babe. Yes. And Giovanni Alvarez, yeah, I did read your super chat. So yes, I can look at the super chat only as well, so I can do that. and I occasionally do. So even if I don't see your super chat, I will eventually. So don't worry about that, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm back to seeing all comments now, and we have been chatting for an hour and 10 minutes. Thank you, love. Oh no, that's yours. Okay, no
Obviously, I
problem.
wanted to look at it.
Oh yeah, that looks really, yeah, looks good. Looks good. Yeah, I'll have mine later. I just want to finish up. I'm enjoying this too much with my audience. So, question: Any plans? Any plans to shoot firearms while in the States? I already have. I have shot quite a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll talk about it. The reason why I didn't film it, because I wanted to film it. I wanted to film my experience in a firing range with guns, but I didn't because you know how the situation is now with demonetization on YouTube, and channels getting demonetized just for mentioning guns or showing guns. And I didn't feel comfortable about it, about like uploading guns on my channel. I haven't talked about it with my YouTube partner manager. I'm waiting for her to tell me what she thinks about it. But now I'm just being cautious with the apocalypse and whatnot. I mean, if you think about it, I remember one of the videos that got demonetized immediately was my video on World War II. And I think the only reason why that video got demonetized, and I'm talking about an almost half an hour video, I think it's 25 minutes video, so it took some time to make it. It was demonetized because I said the word Nazi. Can you imagine that? Like, how can I speak about World War II if I don't say Hitler or I don't say the Nazi? It's stupid. It's history. It's not propaganda. I'm just talking about the freak. But that's what the bot does, and I asked for manual review, still demonetized. So nothing you can do about it. So I thought, maybe bringing guns is not a good idea. At the end of the day, my channel is mostly about swords and armor. Maybe one thing I could do, I could talk about the experience on Patreon. I could do that because I don't think there are, but I do need to talk to Patreon as well because they have got some crazy stuff as well in terms of usage and whatnot. So we'll see what I can do. Mirochi says, crap, I would like you shooting at Tanegashima. I would love to shoot at Tanegashima too. Although my Tanegashima matchlock type Aquabus 16th century that I have, it's a replica made so that it cannot be made to shoot. Okay, it's just a replica for the looks. It looks good, it feels good, it weighs right, it handles good, but it cannot be made to fire. So not sure. Anyways, definitely when I will move to America, I am getting both a carrying permit and I'm getting the permit, a license to have firearms in my home. So I will get a functioning Tanegashima Teppo eventually. George Doy asks, are you a dog or a cat person? I like both, but I'm a cat person. So I do like dogs too. I think, yeah, my girlfriend and I are considering taking a Shiba dog when we move in. Is that when we move in together and we start?
I'm so excited. They're so cute.
Yeah, when we start living together, we will have a Shiba and a cat, probably eventually. I think so. So there is another donation, $5 from Viscount actually. The S is not pronounced, I think. Are there any downsides to the Japanese cross spear? It just seems more versatile than a normal spear. Well, it depends what you mean with normal spear, because even in Europe there were so many different kinds of spears, and we also had winged spears. So you do have in Europe spears which have different kinds. You don't only have the, it's called lingua di bue in Italian. It means bull's tongue. We don't only have the simple sort of flat and long spearhead. We have a huge amount of spearhead variation in it in Europe, and so did the Japanese. The Japanese had lots of different kinds. I think it depends what you want to use it for, because whatever variation you have in spearheads, it sort of makes it better at doing something, but maybe less. It increases weight, it changes the way it's used. So there are always pros and cons with every design, in my opinion. I mean, I, for one, very much like the Yari. Just simple, straight to the point, a stick with a pointy end, just impaling people. It's a very effective thing. I mean, yes, adding slashing into the equation changes, it sort of increases ways you can use and operate your weapon and wield it, so why not? But still, thrusting is the best thing you can do with a spear, definitely, because it's the hardest thing to block. And in video games, you often have all these, like, moving around and rolling and spinning attack with a spear. To me, it's just nonsense. Because yes, you can slash with a spear, but it still has to be a quick movement. It shouldn't be something flashy that you just start moving it around unless you're doing it for show. And that's what it is. It's just a show. And I don't think that even the quickest cut, in my opinion, is never as difficult to parry as the quickest thrust, because thrusts are tough to parry, and so there is that. Another question: will you change your accent to American English? I doubt it, because you see, my accent is a mixture. When I say that, I mean that you can tell, obviously, that I learned to pronounce words in England, but sometimes still my intonation goes towards Italian. So my accent is a mixture between an Italian intonation and pauses and rhythm with a British English, I'm going to say Southern English, way of pronouncing words. So it's a mix. But it's it's something I learned as a teenager and is firmly attached to my core. And I don't think I could learn to put on an American accent maybe if I live here long enough, but I don't think I would ever naturally speak with an American accent just because. Maybe if I had moved here at at an early stage, like when I was 20 or 19, maybe. But as a 37-year-old man, I think it's a bit too late to change your accent.
And I like your accent, so.
And she likes my accent apparently, so there is that. Noel Herbert says, "Oh yes, maybe you will have a Southern English accent." Lol, that's funny. Okay, Obsidious, what is your take on sacred geometry not being taught? Well, I think anything should be taught, as long as it's not, dangerous, and so I think it could be taught. Why not? I mean, as you know, sacred geometry is in my channel's symbol and in my merchandise. So, I like sacred geometry. I like the Metatron's cube. I don't think there is anything wrong with sacred geometry unless you start painting Satan. And at the end of the day, I think it's all right. It's just geometry. That's all it is. It's a pretty sign. Kevin Garcia, $2. Thank you so much. He says, "Love your channel. Keep up the good work." I shall. Thank you so much for your help. And Shaolin says, stab is more lethal. Oh yeah, it can be. I mean, I suppose it depends on the context to summon Matt Easton, but there is that. Random guy, if you could choose one weapon to master, which one and why? I'm going to say the sword. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, why not the spear, since it is the most effective weapon? Because the spear is the most effective weapon if you give it... It's the most effective weapon because you can give it to someone who is not trained and beat someone who is pretty good with a sword. However, if you have someone who is, reasonably good with a spear against a real sword master, then it's not going to be that easy to beat the sword master. So again, the spear is still the better weapon, the best weapon, I think. But I'm just inclined towards the sword because I love it and it's something that you can wear. You can't wear a spear, so you can't use it for personal defense. I'm not planning on going onto a battlefield, and so I would rather learn how to use a sword than a spear. Even if I were in the Middle Ages, I mean. Okay. So of course today, self-defense, maybe a knife is better because you can be concealed and whatnot, but or maybe a gun, absolutely. But if I were a medieval person, I would definitely learn the sword rather than the spear. Nicolas says, Metatron, have you been to San Cataldo in Sicily? No, I haven't. I've never been to San Cataldo because I'm from Palermo, and I think San Cataldo I think it's a little fun. Not even sure where San Cataldo is, to be honest. I've heard of it, of course, but never been. It's official, people. Metatron is Italian. Yes, sono italiano. Grazie. Pasta, pizza. What do you think about Hollywood? I think Hollywood is entertaining, but I hate it when they misrepresent medieval stuff or Roman stuff. So there is that. Let's see. Pasta time. Yes, it's pasta time. It is pasta time. I think I will get. Someone says 37. Yes, I am 37 years old. And I know that if I shave, I look 27, but what can I do? That's because I'm Metatron. And that's, angels don't age. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, let's see. Is it accepted, says Bruva, for professor, so for a professor, to get angry for asking too many questions? I suppose so, but I wouldn't be. I mean, as you know, I'm a teacher. I'm a school teacher, and when my if a student of mine asks me a lot of questions, for me it's just a proof that that student is interested in the subject, and that's commendable. It's something I commend, not rebuke. So I'll definitely take time for my students and their questions. So how many British accents you can understand? How many of them you can speak well? Um, I think I can understand pretty much most British accents except for very thick Glasgow Scottish accent. That is really difficult for me to understand. I find it fun to listen to, but literally, like every time I've spoken to a Scot who was really had really thick accent, I'm like, I need a translator. So I think Irish, on the other hand, I can understand it well. So not too much problems with that. Ricardo Marin asks me, what do you think about PewDiePie? Yeah, I like PewDiePie. I've got nothing against PewDiePie. I'm not a big. I mean, I prefer Matt Easton over PewDiePie any day, but I occasionally watch his content, so I find PewDiePie fun. No problem. Let's see. Your thoughts about S-Stock. An S-Stock, or Stocco in Italian, fantastic weapon. I find them fascinating. It's a weapon born in its age. It's a child of its age. It's very what can I say? It's very effective for what it was designed. So there is that. Question from Lardy Lord 666. He says, "Do you consider yourself religious?" That's a big question, and I actually have sort of answered it. And there is a video on my channel called "Why I Called My Channel Metatron," so you will find your answer to that question in that video, because I think I elaborate well on that video. So for a quick reference, I am theist. I do believe in God, but I'll leave it to that for now. And although I respect people who don't, at the end of the day, I respect people's freedom. So there is that. And yeah, so there is that. Battle of Alasia, yes, my mate. I know, Lord Protector. I do really need to make that video. Battle of Alasia, I really need to make that video. It's such a great. Oh, he says, Lord Protector says hi, Kenzie.
Hello.
She says hello. Yeah. Another donation, $3 from Artes de Marte. That's cool. It means Arts of Mars. He says, hello, Raf. Hope that you remembered me. Good luck. Artes de Marte. Your name does ring the bell, but I'll have to I'll check you out. I'll check you out later. I'll see I don't know if you make content. I'll check you out. Someone asks, sei mai stato a Catania? Davide Leotta. Yes, I have been to Catania many times. One of my best friends is from, what is it? What is this place called? It's a small town near Etna, a volcano. It's called Trecastagni. Trecastagni? Sì, Trecastagni. So yeah, I've been to Catania city many times, and I will go soon, because I often enjoy visiting my friend. Yeah. What other languages are you planning to learn? Keep up, dude. I want to improve my Greek, because my modern Greek is ridiculous. I can speak about ancient Greek weapons and armor in Greek, but I cannot order a coffee in a Greek cafe. It's ridiculous. Like my Greek vocabulary, I know words like periknimides, which is like the shin guards, the greaves, dhori, I know the words for weapons and armor and that stuff, but I really need to improve my Greek, so hopefully. And I want to work on my Mandarin again. Someone says, Joe Baptista says, you look amazing at 37. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. My girlfriend agrees. Well, I'm glad that she does. Did you read the book, says Mirochi, SPQR by Mart Bird? I never have. Do you suggest me to? Well, I suppose you do if you're asking me, so I'll check him out. The comments luckily remain underneath. $2 from HK Osiris, like the Egyptian god. Thank you, my friend, for your donation. And guys, again, let me express my thanks for all of you both for the people who are watching this, because I really appreciate your time, and also for the people who are donating their hard-worked money. I'm really grateful for anything, even if it's $1. It means the world to me, because I know you don't have to. And so the fact that you're doing it, it really makes me, because I myself sometimes do give during other content creators streams, or on Patreon, for example. And it's something that, and I know that the only times I do it is when I really like the content creators. It really makes me happy when you do this with me. So thank you. And your money will be used for the channel. You can stay assured with that. And again, another donation from Patrick Ogieniski. Can labris be useful in some combat situation? Labris. Yeah, you'll have to elaborate on that, because I don't recognize the word. Labris can be used in combat situation. I don't know what that is. So again, thank you for your donation, but you'll have to elaborate on the term. So I don't know. Maybe it's just something I don't know. Maybe it's a tool. I don't know. Everyone give a thumbs up. There are over 200 people here. Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Let's see. Hi, have you ever visited Campobasso? No, I've never visited Campobasso. Sorry for that. So I can't really speak about it. Let's see. Thoughts on Marvel movies? I love Marvel movies. In fact, one of the reasons why I visited New York before coming here to visit my girl, it was because I have been binge watching Daredevil, and so I really wanted to go to Hell's Kitchen, and I did, and I thought it was fantastic. Manhattan, guys, is incredible. It's incredible. And I know some of you don't like New York, so again, I respect your point of view, but I have to politely disagree. We'll have to agree to disagree, because I love New York, like literally. I stayed in Brooklyn, which was cool, but really, the Manhattan is mind-blowing. I don't know if I would live there, but definitely visiting it was amazing. It's such an expression of success. It's a cool city. It's amazing. So, Calio, Metatron, sorry for all the spam messages. No worry, pal. But I just really want to know your opinion on my question. So if you could look back to my question, I would appreciate it. Love your channel, by the way. Well, here's the thing. I can try, Calio Arnold, to look back a little bit, but understand that by the time you wrote this, there are literally hundreds of messages here. So it's not really, yeah, I really can't find it, my mate. So, yeah, don't worry about spamming. Write it again. It's better than me trying to go back, because I won't find it. So there is that. So sorry for not seeing it, but I can't see everything, unfortunately. Is this a bonfire? That's the name of someone here. It says Gothic plate armor or Milanese plate armor. Absolutely Milanese, my friend. I mean, I appreciate Gothic plate. I like it a lot, but Milanese. And in fact, I'm having a Milanese suit of plate armor being produced by craftsmen of Taurica. They do really good job. They do a really good job. They're amazing. If you want to know about them, well, you can check out my. I have a crowdfunding campaign, of course, because I could never afford a full plate harness, and it's already going well. Still not complete, but we are halfway through the budget for the armor, and so I've already ordered the brass plate and the back plate and the fold, so that's been ordered. But a good thing about it, I mean, if you go check out my crowdfunding campaign, Knight in Shining Armor, I think it's called. Yeah, it's a Knight in Shining Armor on GoFundMe. You will also find a link to the Facebook page where I of the armorer that is going to produce the armor for me. So even if you don't go there to do a donation, you can still look up Craftsmen of Taurica. I'll spell it for those of you who don't want to check the crowdfunding page. I'll spell it for you. So of course, Craftsmen of Taurica is Taurica or Ka. I don't remember. I think it's Ca. Really good. Can you do a video about Japanese sabatons? Yes, I could. Not that many variations, but yes. I really like the fur leather boots that some samurai used. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the fur, but I like the leather boots, absolutely. So there is that. I'm really back. There are a lot of comments I haven't seen. $2 from, again, HK Osiris. I have a question, but it's too long for super chat. You can write it in the comments, because I will come back and read the comments after the video is fully uploaded. Or you can send me an email on my email address, which you will find on the information tab of my channel. So thank you for that. I have a question from Majestat whatever. He says, one, have you trained Katori Shintoryu? Yes, I have trained, and I still train in Katori Shintoryu, although lately I haven't been able to go, unfortunately. But yes, I have trained in Katori Shintoryu. Oh yeah, you're saying, I think once I found a video about it in your channel, but I can't find it now. And will you challenge a Scalagrim in real life? I would love to challenge Scalagrim in real life. It will probably destroy me, but he has more training than me. But the reason why, yes, I did make a video on Katori Shintoryu and me practicing it when I first started, but I had to remove it because the Katori Shintoryu community, they didn't like that. They are very reserved, so they literally asked me to remove the video, and I actually put it, it's still on the channel, but it's private, unfortunately. So there is that. $10 Daniel, thank you so much for your donation, my friend. I really appreciated it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. You've been really generous. Holy mother of... Okay, we just had a $100 donation from Andrew Salvini, and he says, dinner on me. Thank you so much, my friend. I mean, did you mean that donation? I hope you did. If you didn't, let me know again. But it's, thank you. I suppose you did. So, very generous of you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's amazing.
I'll take it to dinner then.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll take it to dinner. Thank you for your, really, I am humbled from your generosity. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, the Obsidious says The Witcher teaser is out. Yes, The Witcher. You're right. I think Shad talked about it. I definitely will do. I'm still shocked by the $100 donation, guys. Thank you, Andrew, again. I'm really shocked by your generosity. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your hard work, money mate. Yeah, The Witcher teaser. I'll have to watch it. I did make a few videos on The Witcher, so yeah, I'll check it out. And but yeah, Shad did make a video about it. So if you want to watch that, I recommend it. Mason Davis, Metatron, what's your favorite part of American history? And if you could live during any non-modern time period, what would it be? Favorite part, the part that I find most interesting about American history, it's definitely, is it, I don't want to say something wrong, the one about North and South, is that the war of, it's the American Civil War, isn't it? I think it's the American Civil War. Yeah, it's not the War of Independence. The American.
I'm not the person that asked about...
Yeah, don't worry, Pi. I always get confused between the War of Independence and the American Civil War. I think it's the Civil War. That's the one. You know, the one with North and South. I love, guys, Northern uniforms. I really need to get one. The blue ones with golden buttons. Amazing. You'll have to give me a moment. I need to have a drink of water because I've been speaking a lot. Okay, better. Okay, I'm enjoying this. Let's continue. So yeah, that would be my favorite part of American history. And would I want to live in a non-modern time period? Yes, in the late 15th century. I would like to live in medieval times or in Roman times. Maybe medieval more than Romans, actually, believe it or not. But definitely after the Black Plague. Definitely after the Black Plague. What do you think of learning dead languages? Asks Ergendwer. I think it's important. I give priority to spoken languages, but after you've got down a couple of modern languages, learning something like Latin is definitely a good idea, or any other dead language, because a language is only dead when we let it be. I think if many people started picking up Latin again, it could at least be resurrected as a second language, and it would be fantastic. And that's something I would advocate, because there is so much to learn from Latin about the past of our languages and the reasons why we say the things the way we say them. And so there is that. Andrew K asks, I know your friend Sal once did a video on the bastone siciliano. Yes, he did. But have you ever studied any of the traditional Italian knife and stick arts? No, I never. I know a friend, in fact, it's the friend Salvo on his channel, You Better Call Sal. He mentions his friend Alessandro, and I know he has been trained a little bit in both. Very interesting arts. Even the ancient Sicilian combat arts are interesting. Maybe it would be worth making a video about it. But first, when the next video we'll make on Sicily will be about the Normans in Sicily, and that's something I've been postponing forever. I did make a video on Greek Sicily, which I think is one of the videos that I'm proud of. I'm not proud of all my videos, but I'm proud of some of them, and I'm proud of this one. It's a good one. Although one of my favorite videos on my channel is the one about the Black Plague. Unfortunately, I think it capped at 20k or 25k views. Didn't really go very well, but I think it's one of the best videos I've ever made. So there is that. I strongly suggest it. So there is that. Oh yeah, it's a good question. Isairo says, what do you think about Polish hussars? Were they as powerful as the films and chronicle depict? Well, I don't know if they were as powerful as they depict them, but they are fascinating, and I loved their armor. I wish I could have one of their suits of armor, my friend. They are amazing. I should make a video about that. I should make videos about lots of things. I have a question for you, Pi. Someone asks, what's your girlfriend's favorite historical period? Do you have a favorite historical period?
I really enjoyed. Obviously, I wasn't there, but I really liked the 20s.
She likes the 20s, like 1920s.
I love the flappers.
You like the flappers?
I like them a lot.
I understand.
I love the 20s, but I will have to say when it comes to like if it's if we're talking about like Roman and stuff like that, I have to probably say like I like the samurais.
Oh, she likes samurai, so Japanese feudal. Yeah, she's into Japanese feudal. Yeah, there you go. Nice one. Yeah, you'll have to wear my samurai armor one day.
Happily.
Yeah, I'm having.
I know samurais, but all very good.
Yeah, that's okay, but yeah. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. Let's see. What do you think of Benito Mussolini and his idea of rebuilding the Roman Empire? I'm not a big fan of Benito Mussolini and the way he enforced things. And I can't say that everything the fascists did was bad, because that would be lying for someone who understands history. Some of the things they did them well. But I don't like any enforced government, any tyrannical. Does that even exist as a word? I don't know. So I don't like communism, and again, I'm respecting people who do, but I don't like communism. I don't like fascism, and therefore the leaders, I'm not a big fan of the leaders either. Majestic Satire, yes, of course you did a super chat. So let's see if I've missed some super chats, because I think I have. You'll have to give me a moment, because the system does take some time. So yeah, I don't like dictatorship. That's thank you for giving me the word. I couldn't find the word. So let's see if yes, Andrew Salani. Dinner on me, he said. Thank you. Let me see if I missed a chat. Sometimes it's not easy to read all of your chats. So again, I apologize to all of you who are writing constantly, and I am not seeing your comments. I apologize for that, and of course I particularly apologize to those who. Oh, but I did find your thing. So Majestic Satire, $5, thank you. And he says, interesting idea of mine. You know about the Roman Principate and Dominate? Yes, of course, the Principate and Dominate. Why not call the Eastern Roman Empire the Orient for Eastern? It could be done. It could make sense, but you see, I love the division of the Principate and Dominate, and I think they're both really cool names. But I think, you see, the reason why it's called the Principate is because the rulers, the emperors at the times, they were the princeps, and then the Dominus is usually the name you give to later Roman rulers. So again, if we are looking for a name for the Eastern Roman Empire, an alternative name, it should be based on the name of their rulers if we want to be consistent. And so something about the Basileus, maybe, so something of a Greek flavor to it. I think it would make more sense. So that's my answer to your opinion, but still cool opinion. Question from Scalad: where from Sicily are you? I'm from Palermo, the capital of Sicily, the biggest city in Sicily, Palermo. That's my place. Okay, let's read a couple more comments, and then I think it will be time for me it will be pasta time for me, and I'll go get actually lunch and dinner, because today I skipped lunch, and yes, so there is that. Oh, Trajan asks, that's a funny one. Trajan asks, how did you meet your wife? And she's not my wife yet. She's my girlfriend. She's laughing. We met because of the channel. She found me because she was watching my content on the Japanese and on language, I think, and Japanese stuff, and that's how we met. So thanks to YouTube. So there's that. Winged hussar. So that's definitely a topic I need to cover. Absolutely. And $2 from Haesung Kim. Thank you so much. Thoughts on Yi Sun Shin? I don't know him, unfortunately, and because you have to understand that although I did study deeply Chinese history, we are talking 10 years ago. So I did review the Chinese dynasties, for example, and Korean stuff as well, of course. I'm not just talking about Chinese, but Korean and Chinese history is something that I have studied 10 years ago. And then I reviewed the Chinese dynasties a couple of years ago when I made a video on the Chinese dynasties. But I really need to review both Korean and Chinese history now, because many things that I remember I'm not 100% sure of, and I definitely don't remember all names of both generals, commanders, and whatnot. So there is that. We have another donation from Martin Calendar. Thank you, friend. You've been very generous today. You really should postpone that normal video forever. The lot of them weren't any better than the barbarian scum, the sacked Gothenburg. I understand, but you see, making a video about something doesn't mean that you support what those people have done. It's just a way to educate people, and that's why I think eventually, a video about the Normans in Sicily is very interesting. Also because they did influence both negatively and in some way also positively the culture. Anyways, I mean, even the dialect, if you think about it, that we speak, and the people who colonize areas, they inevitably leave something. Even the people, I mean, there are blonde people in Sicily, and the only way to explain it is through genetic DNA that's linked to the people of the north. I am a more stereotypical Sicilian with black hair and dark eyes, but you do have Sicilians who are blonde, and they have been Sicilians for generations now, and it definitely goes back to the Norman domination there. What are your thoughts on Sekiro? And that's a donation. Thank you. Canadian dollars. So someone from Canada. Hello. I like Sekiro. I own a copy, and I made 2 videos on Sekiro. If you're interested, maybe you missed them. Lately the YouTube algorithm, even though you're subscribed, you don't get notification. Unfortunately, I know it's a big problem. But you probably have missed them because of that. Remember, guys, to click on the notification bell. But yes, I do have 2 videos on Sekiro, an evaluation of weapons and armor, and a first impression video, an historical evaluation, and I went quite in depth on that one. It's a good game, but it's not a game that makes me feel like I want to go back to it as often as I do with the Elder Scrolls, for example. So it's still, I know it's not a Souls game. I know it shares a lot with games such as Tenchu, for example, which is another game that I used to play a lot in my teenage years. But I still prefer, but it still looks a lot like a Souls game, let's be honest about it. And the system, the mechanics are similar to a Souls game. And Souls game, I enjoy more Dark Souls 2 than I do Sekiro. So there is that. So it's a cool game, but not one of those games that I couldn't, that I really love, like Skyrim, for example. Skyrim is a game that I freaking played Skyrim yesterday. I never stopped playing that game anyways. So there is that. Okay, guys, so we've got 1 hour and 45 minutes, noble ones, and I think I'm going to call it a day. Although one last question here that I think is important: have you seen Il Primo Re? I haven't, and for those who don't know, Il Primo Re is a movie, Italian-made movie about the birth of Rome. I will watch it, and I will make a video about it. So wait for that. So thank you so much, Noble Ones, for being here with me. You've been consistent, 200 people all the time, lots of donations, and I'm very thankful. Really good questions. So I appreciate your time. Both my Kenzie and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for watching, and thank you for being here and for being awesome. So stay awesome, and most importantly, stay noble.
Stay noble.
Yes, and, and remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye, Noble Ones.
Bye.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao.